A distinctive pattern is frequently observed in interactions between members of majority or historically dominant groups, particularly those of European descent, and minority or non-white outgroups. Members of the former often engage in overt displays of empathy, compassion, and moral superiority through elaborate rhetorical commitments, resource transfers, institutional concessions, and self-abnegating gestures. These acts are typically framed as efforts to affirm equality and demonstrate enlightened benevolence. From the perspective of costly signaling theory in evolutionary psychology and behavioral ecology, such behaviors commonly serve as mechanisms for broadcasting status, virtue, and self-perceived moral elevation rather than straightforward altruism. Costly signaling theory explains how individuals incur tangible expenses, material resources, social dignity, or group interests to credibly convey desirable traits to observers. In this context, performative benevolence functions as a costly signal. The public sacrifice of dignity or power signals the actor's commitment to pro-social norms, thereby securing reputational gains, peer admiration within elite circles, or psychological relief from perceived historical guilt complexes. Unlike low-cost rhetoric, these displays maintain some credibility precisely because they impose real costs on the signaler. The recipients frequently respond with strategic accommodation, outwardly performing acceptance of the proffered benevolence while privately recognizing the underlying dynamics. This interaction is described as devolving into a dual performance, with each side advancing private incentives. The pattern is presented as a self-reinforcing benevolent signaling cycle sustained by asymmetric incentives. Empirical patterns in intergroup relations literature, including studies of competitive altruism and virtue signaling, are cited as supporting the prevalence of such mechanisms. The dynamic is not confined to any single demographic binary, but appears across stratified societies. In Western contexts, the interplay is said to be amplified by specific cultural emphases. The full source report and the link to the original material with additional details, media, and accompanying or complementary reports are available in the description. In summary, the observed dynamic represents a mutual signaling game involving performative benevolence by segments of majority populations and strategic accommodation by outgroup actors. Ultimately, the benevolence signaling cycle constitutes a dysfunctional interplay rooted in universal human tendencies toward costly signaling and opportunism. The reference material includes further examination of personality correlates, institutional reinforcements, long-term consequences, and pathways toward interactions grounded in observable reciprocity and verifiable outcomes.